Alright, this is a short video. These are the two trailers I built, the little one and the green one. And we're taking off with the green one tonight. We're headed up to Inglis, Florida, visit some friends that are leaving for Maine and Canada shortly. But I never got a picture of the two of them right together. One's 6 feet wide and the other's only 4 feet wide. But when I come back, that 4 foot wide one back there, we're going to cut that one down and we're going to make it into a 5.5 feet, and just like this green one, but I'm going to try to use fiberglass on it. And what's today? Today's Friday. I think it's April 26th. Not 27th. Oh my gosh, time is flying. Anyways, we got it hooked up to the Durango and we're about to head out. So we'll see if we can get it out of the yard here. We got too many trailers. We got this trailer, that trailer, my son-in-law's trailer, my storage trailer, and thank God the big trailer is up in Inglis, parked up there in storage. Too many trailers. Trailers are us. We'll be back to you guys in a little bit. All right, here we are in Inglis. It's I believe it's like April 25th, Saturday, 2018. We took our little green camper out, overnighter camper. We took up for the weekend here in Inglis to visit some friends that are leaving for the north shortly. This next week they're headed back to Canada and Maine and all, and we figured we'd come by. But it's our first time out this year with our little camper, and it worked pretty good. We took this thing for 3 months out west rather. We went out west with this thing all through Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Wyoming, Colorado, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. We've been everywhere with this little guy. It really worked out pretty well. Got stuck a bunch of times in snow. But anyways, this here is a panel I put on the front to stop water from going in the window. Later on I'm going to take that and open it up. And we've got a storage container underneath here that I put in. This guy is really good. Initially I put all my batteries in there. And I figured out that was not a good idea because the batteries would get hot in a black container in the front. I didn't want them getting hot, so I ended up moving them inside. Also ran into other problems, which I'll explain in another video, about solar power and batteries and the things you can run into for trouble. It turned out to be a learning experience for me. Even though I was educated in electronics, there was a lot of mistakes I made initially. But we figured it out. And it's a good thing too, because it all helped out well. Plus, when we were out in Colorado, I noticed that this thing was broken. The chassis, the frame was broken. I noticed that this was against the wall, and it's supposed to be this inches here away from an inch away. I don't know if you can see it here, but we had to do a repair on this frame. I'll show you pictures of this repair. That's a real thick piece of iron, and there's angle iron on the inside of it. And then we sandwiched it together and bolted it together so we could hold our frame together last year so we could keep this thing going. So as good as this trailer is, it has its drawbacks. We had to do repairs on it. So that was a problem. But I ended up painting it. Oh, also I put a light here. This light from the inside will light up, and I can look in the back of my truck here, or my Durango, or you can see inside the box at night, and it opens up light to the front of the place. It's really nice. There's our website, Frugal Way. Karen likes to do her art, so there's her artwork there. And I'm gonna see if I can't. I put little wing nuts on this thing and kind of protect the front of it. When we're going down the road, we found that the going through rain actually created problems with the pressure of the water, and it would seep in to our trailer. We didn't want any kind of problems, so I built this. Now you see it, I'm going to have to clean it up some, but it's got a nice window, and that's a slider window. I bought that from RV Mobile Home Depot in Largo. And these windows cost me only $65 at the time to buy them. It was a lot cheaper than building them, so that's the way I went. And they sell vertical ones too, and I bought a vertical one for the door. And the door, I bought the regular RV handles for the door and the latch to hold it open. That was kind of a trick to figure out how to do that. And then these windows slide open. We bought the window shades, obviously. Going on to the inside, this here is an extra solar panel down here. And of course my necessary garbage food. And I put a shelf in up here, and that's good and bad. It's a catch-all, but you know, it catches everything. It's what it's supposed to do. I also put a light up there, and then I put a light in the middle of it right there. And I got that light on a switch here, so I can switch it on and off depending upon what we need. Now, where is it here? I'm putting the outside light on. It's gonna be up higher. There it is. And both sides will light, but tell you what, when we stand up in there, you have a tendency to bump your head on that, and that light over there lights up the whole camper. So in the future, I would not put that up there anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that. And Karen, she needs a lot of room, so she put a mattress down on the floor, and she sleeps on that. She flips and flops all night, so thank God I don't have to deal with that. I put that bunk in the back up about 1.5 to 2 feet, and I sleep on that. It's only 24 inches, but I don't move at all. Underneath there, we have our storage, pots, pans, and under here, I don't know if you can see it, but over there is our batteries, all our power supplies on the batteries and what's happening to that thing. I'll do a video specifically on that later on, because that's a challenge to figure that all out. Then, of course, we got the TV, the microwave oven, refrigerator. When we're traveling, the refrigerator is constantly on. It's being powered by the solar panel on the roof. And then I put a nice big back door in there so we can get things in and out easily in the back door. And then there's a porta potty there that we use. And then behind that porta potty is an air conditioner. And that little wooden box there is all my electrical stuff that I use for the place. Now you see I got water damage up here, and I don't know how I got that. There's no water damage on the ceiling. There's no cracks in the roof. I don't know if it's condensation from the inside or not, but that's why I'm building these trailers. I'm not selling them, I'm building them. And we use them for a while until we can figure out what's wrong with them. And that's wrong right there. So that's my next project, to figure that out. And of course, we got another nice big side window here. And the neat part here is we put all these little hooks. We hook everything up on those hooks. Those hooks they're just great to have. And then I put this panel in here to charge our phones, and it simultaneously watches the power and the batteries. And I can shut it off if I don't want to leave it on. But the thing is, I always know what's happening with the batteries, and our solar panels and are known. And our cell phones and everything can be charged right from that thing. And that's the wheel wells part that I made. And we put everything on there at night, charging, so we can find them in the morning. Over here, I have all these little flip switches on the inside. They don't stick out, but they control the lighting on the inside and the outside. I have them all over the trailer. Over there, you'll see some more in the back. There's a backlight, and that controls the solar panel start and stop and everything else. And these lights. It's got everything you need in here. It's simple. Outside, these used to be the incandescent lights. And I bought panels, LED panels. And I took out the incandescent lights and I put these big panels in there of LEDs. And I'll tell you what, they are super bright. At night, you can light up the whole neighborhood with those things. Worked out well. The other thing I did here on the frame, these frames, when I bought these frames, they came with 12-inch tires. I pulled the 12-inch tires off, and I put 13-inch tires on. And it turns out 13-inch fits perfectly on this wheel hub. I had to lift the fender up to accommodate the large tire, but it rolls down the road a lot easier and these tires are capable of handling more weight. We don't have a lot of weight. The whole thing weighs about 1,500 pounds full, so it's not a big issue. You'll see that it is painted. We painted this one green. We used a latex paint on it, and the reason is the first camper we made, I used polyurethane, marine grade polyurethane, and it did not hold up to the water. So we figured we'd get away from that by using paint this time, and it lasted a lot better. It was a lot better for holding on. There's our website again. In the back, down the bottom, that's our air conditioner, and I put a piece of plastic over the back of it. And the reason for that is I don't want all the little fins to get banged up and dented. She put in this nice little holder area to keep all the little things we need outside. We spend most of our time outside. And from here you can get to the spices and the refrigerators right here. We bought this little refrigerator, $100 something from Walmart. It's got a little freezer in it. It's got everything you need in it. And it only uses 40 watts when it's running. And the little inverters I bought for it, specifically for it, run it fine. These are some of the places we've been. We've been all over the West. It was a lot of fun out there. I also bought a 2,000 watt inverter. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's sitting right there. And hardly ever use it. Behind it is a 500 watt inverter, which we use most of the time. And right here is my solar panel controller, and it monitors what's happening, and it's charging the batteries and everything. And in this box here is all my different connections, because we do have shore power and all that stuff. This is an auxiliary charging system if I have to use it. I put a plug that came out of that box for the 110, and I just use a 110 line when I'm in. I carry a conversion wire for 30 amp in case we're parked someplace where there's only a 30 amp service, but we've hardly ever used it. And what I did was I hung this down from the 500 watt inverter, sine wave inverter, and when we're traveling I just plug these two together, and that keeps everything running inside on the batteries and the power inverter. Works out fine. I'm gonna see if I can jump up here on the top. There's the solar panel. I don't know if you can see it, but that's my solar panel and the other parts up there. And the plan is to put 2 or 3 more solar panels on the top. That's my next plan. Sometime maybe next week. And this is the other side of the camper. I'm going to step back a little bit. And the camper is 9.5 feet long. It's 5 feet high. It's 6 feet wide. And when I change the tires to the 12-inch tires, I can literally put it in the garage of my house. It'll go right in. And like I said, it weighs about 1,500 pounds full. And I pull it with my Durango, and you know, you can feel it, but not an issue. It rolls right along. I put the light on the outside and the back too, so that we can power up the whole outside. We can see off the back. I put lights everywhere but the back side, because you always want to be able to see. Now here's a neat little thing I did. I didn't want to not have shade. We've hardly ever used this, but I put it in there. As you can see at the top there, I got this piece of wood with all these little hook eyes on it. And I bought those. It's a 2x2, and I bought them down Home Depot. And he said, well, why did you do that? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm cheap. This is the frugal way. I got this here. I got that tarp. I bought that tarp at Harbor Freight. And the eyelets of that, all these eyelets you see right here, well, they connect up to all those little hooks. And then I got 10 poles, so I can put up a tarp and put the 10 poles up and put some cord down, and we've got a beautiful tarp to sit under and get nice shade. If it's sunny outside, the panels are all making power, and we got shade to sit underneath and the air going by us. We just love it. It's worked out really well. This little camper here, I put about $2,500 into it, not counting electronics. Electronics maybe another $1,000 in all, but it is totally easy to live in. We've stayed in this thing out west now for 3 months, and we're headed back out sometime in August. We're going to go back out to Montana and over to Oregon, you know, going through Washington and over to the Redwood Forest in California, and then back through Yellowstone, and then home. And then eventually we'll end up in New England somewhere in the fall. And that's our plan. All right, we'll see if this video